Hey everybody, sorry for the delay getting this spooled up. Welcome in. I'm going to give everybody a few more seconds to load in. I apologize for the delayed start. Just having an issue on the Zoom side. Just so everybody knows, this recording will be distributed after the webinar as well. And all right, it looks like there's still several more of you coming in. Yeah, again, I apologize for the delay. Cool. And yeah, it looks like there was a mix-up on the Zoom links. So we will just give it 1 second further. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen as well. We can get this going. Awesome. So, thank you all for joining me. In today's session, we're going to try and make it as interactive as possible. I appreciate you guys taking the time to kind of step in here and participate. First and foremost, we are going to be going over our analytics tool here on the EasyDigz platform. I want to, make sure that everyone knows that you have a chance to raise your hand, ask questions, do whatever you need to do, so that we can make sure that you're able to track along. Anyone who hasn't been on for one of the previous webinars, the way that you access your site is to log on to your Doorify page. And then as you scroll down, you'll see EasyDigz, and you'll be able to log in from there. Once your site is set up, you'll be able to see the analytics tool, and we can go here. This is where from your main dashboard, you would be able to see on the left-hand side, we'll be in this EasyInsights is what we'll be working in today. If anybody has any questions, please raise your hand, and we can go from there. Here's some of the initial searches that I did, but I just kind of wanted to cover a few different ways that we can use the tool and go through from there. So first and foremost, part of why we're putting this webinar together is 41% of realtors are using AI tools. The issue is that there are a lot of people who are asking ChatGPT about their market, and that only is as relevant as the trained data that ChatGPT has been trained on in the past. So there is a backlog on a lot of their knowledge base, which means that there's a strong possibility that you're not taking into account recent and current property information, as well as you're not getting anything direct from the MLS, directly from the source. A lot of what you're seeing through those typical responses is generic, whereas here everything is directly sourced directly from Doorify and Triangle MLS. It's all properties you can research, and as we go into the tool, we'll be able to show you how you can click directly through, see what properties it's referencing. It'll tell you what its search criteria are, and we try and make it really, really helpful and intuitive to use. So first and foremost, we'll talk about how this changes your day. If you do have a pre-listing appointment, you're able to really easily pull up information about that property, about that neighborhood, about that zip code, and be able to walk through the door and show up with your days on market, price per square foot trends, coveted features that we can cover some of those searches as far as like what items within the house when listed tend to increase that price per square foot, or that overall selling price, as well as list price to sales price. Additionally, if you're working with a buyer, you're able to really quickly put together a similar search in Apex, Holly Springs, whatever that might be, and pull back relevant market data that allows you to see, even if the prices are the same, can we negotiate differently? What is the current status? How are people responding in the market, etc. And lastly, the really good thing is if you have a question that you don't have the answer for, know that you're 90 seconds away from being able to get that answer. It's not a matter of you having to sit back and log in, build a custom search to try and understand exactly how to answer their questions. It's a really straightforward and easy thing of just querying, and then that can get you 90% of the way there. You use your personal expertise in market intelligence to improve upon that, and it kind of gets you settled in from the get-go. So now that we're there, we're going to kind of cover some of the generic questions that we can cover here that the tool was designed around. In the first part, I'm going to show you some of the queries that we built the tool for, that it's really good at. And in the second part, I'm going to try and make it as interactive as possible. I want for you guys to be able to just reach out and say, hey, this is a market question that I have. And in that part, we're going to stretch the limits of what the tool might be capable of and really start to show you some of the power behind it. So first and foremost, I'm going to ask that everyone logs into their own EasyInsight search, and that they can show sample queries. And we're going to start off with a really basic one, which is just that price per square foot of homes sold in a given neighborhood. And once we get through those, we're going to be able to see those results. Can I get a thumbs up just from the room? See if anybody's ready to go ahead and move forward with this. If anybody has issues logging in or seeing their analytics tool, please bring that up right now as well. All right, I've got some thumbs ups. Cool. All right. Well, I don't see that anybody's having any issues, so we'll go ahead and go through this. And so we'll go into right here, and we'll start off with some of these sample queries, right? Just to get your items loaded, we'll look at what some of the sample queries are. And for example, single family home in Cary under 600,000 with 2,500 square feet. And we're going to search specifically for sale. You guys will notice this. You can segment between your property types down here. A lot of times when you're pulling general market statistics, you can use all. If you're looking for market trends or movements in the market, again, all is good. If you're looking specifically for sale or rent or whatever that might be, you can segment that here. So we're just going to go ahead and hit search on that. And it's going to take about 90 seconds for that to pull through. While we're doing that, I'll give you guys a preview of some of my prior searches. For example, like what's the best deal on 27614? And then we come in here and we pull up these, and it's price per square foot is 37% below the market median. It's a townhouse. Why it's the best deal? It's the lowest price per square foot, and that's great. The next one is going to be on Raven Road, again, 149 and 153. These are all 30+% below the market medians, as well as you're able to see, any properties that have price reductions, etc. It can give you market context about market price per square foot, median prices, townhouses. So you can see that this townhouse median price per square foot at 193 means that those are, fairly reasonable. And these are really quick synopsis. Again, you can also just click right here and be able to look at, what those are, click through the pictures. It gives you a really easy and intuitive way to be able to pull up that information. Okay, cool. I got a message through asking for someone to give someone a second. It looks like you guys are getting your site pulled up. Again, everyone who attends this webinar series, we're opening the door on EasyDigz so that you can log in, get everything set up straight out the gate. There isn't, we're giving you guys all a free trial period for you to come in and look at this. So yeah, thank you very much for that question. While I'm talking through, we'll give you a second to get caught up on your back end, and we can go from there. So you can really quickly and easily see, the pictures, images. You also get full status and information on the property that you can share with your clients, get a better understanding of it. If you want to reach out to the listing agent, you have all of their information here. Makes it really straightforward. If any of these matches your search, again, these are all comparisons that we pulled to try and understand if that property is a good deal or not. It's really nice because it lets you go through and say, okay, this one might not fit. It's, it might not be a perfect match. This is a detached home. We're mainly looking at townhouses, and you can take that into account and adjust it right there. So while we're doing that, we'll look back at our original thing, and we go, oh, okay, interesting. We've got for $529,000, under $600,000, and you've got your property right here. And it makes for a really quick and easy search. It's just something that you can do on the back end. And these are just some of the sample queries. From there, we're going to cover some of the more in-depth ones. And we would say, so this was in Fox Chase. So find me sold comparables in the past 90 days in Fox Chase subdivision for a detached home with a 2-car garage. And we'll just fix my voice to text here in Fox Chase. And we'll go from there. And once we get this back through, you guys will easily be able to track and see what, it'll demonstrate what the criteria is that it's searching on. It will also demonstrate, tell you what closed and everything else is. And we'll give it about 90 seconds to push that back through. And while that's waiting, I can cover one of my prior searches as well. So right here is really easy thing. Like, hey, find me the highest value home in 27614. Really quick and easy. Pulls it through, pulls all the properties, tells you about, 8-car climate controlled garage, 92-foot cantilevered balcony, ultra luxury design, tells you about 27614 and all, has 133 active residential listings, median price, average price. It can pull all the property data, tell you where it sits in accordance to the market, and also kind of where you're competing and what properties that compares against. So if you do have a client looking at this, it's a really easy way for us to go in and understand what other things might fit, as well as what subdivisions should they be looking in those price points, as well as who's looking at it. So for example, if you have automotive enthusiasts, security conscious, and this will lead into some of our other searches as well that you're going to be able to see. It's really, really fun and interesting. So we'll scroll back down and we'll comparables, sold comparables. So close date, close deal. It found one sold comparable in Fox Chase subdivision. That's fair. It was on market for 162 days. Price per square foot of $154. We can see that this one that we just found right here, we don't list a $163. So we're a little bit over on the price per square foot, but we can again look directly at condition and compare these two. And it gives you a really good way to quickly just do an analysis and look at the property. Again, we're looking at the price per square foot here. And that's on Fox Run. So that is not a direct comparable. And I bet you there is more than one Fox Chase subdivision, and that's where we're getting our. So let's do this. Let's do 27511. And we'll go find me sold comparable detached homes in 27511 with similar size and features as 105 Foxhorn Run in Cary. And we'll see how that works. And we'll fix my sold to sold. And we'll click through on that. Yeah. So we'll go back here. And then we can kind of go in here and you guys can see what we're doing side by side. And we'll start to look at, once that one comes through, we'll go median sales prices in Cary versus Holly Springs. And you guys will start to see what that looks like a little bit more on a market level, as opposed to, just on an individual property. And then we'll walk through those side-by-side outputs, and then we'll look at what those medians and days on market, et cetera, and how this is going to help us build a better understanding of the market as we're going in to talk to our clients. I'm going to cover this as I switch back. And this is almost done. It usually takes about 90 seconds for this to run through. And we'll let that run. But interestingly enough, you can see here, yeah, it still has it'll tell you that it's, has limited inventory and transaction volume, and that we should expand that time period, etc. So here we have the 27511 market. There's market statistics, value range 390 to 550, which directly matches, kind of right in here. And then we can look at our median price per square foot, our average price per square foot, median and average sales prices, as well as like what kind of properties and size and square footage there are, what subdivisions they're in. It's like, hey, most homes are selling very quickly, median under 7 days on market. Several properties sold in 1 to 5 days, indicating a strong demand. And then you can see the outliers, which are probably pricing indicated. Quarter acre to half acre lots, what's the 1 and 2 story homes, and then find best comparables. So details for 105 Fox Run. And then it's like, oh, cool. So here's our direct comparisons. We can load these through. We can get an idea on price. Look at, okay, so this is similarly priced. It's 2,100 square feet as opposed to the Fox Run property that we have up here is 3,200 square feet. And you can just quickly click on it, get a better understanding of what it is that you're looking at. Really easy way to natural language. And again, this is all mobile optimized as well. You can do all of this on your phone, pull comps, do everything that you need. So we can just load some more of those, see what's closed, be able to look through and get a better understanding. We try and make the interface as simple, as intuitive as possible, and click through on that. So just wanted to show you guys, it's a really fun and easy way to kind of get through this. And we're going to go here. And then we're going to go back and do this median sales price in Cary versus Holly Springs, right? So find me the median. Find me homes listed for sale within 15% of the median sales price in Cary and Holly Springs. And so we'll hit that search real quick and give it about 90 seconds. Yeah, and again, while that's running through, we can just show, we load all the properties that they were pulling in and referencing here. Again, yeah, just look at the minimum threshold. It tells you, there's a minimum threshold for really being able to pull it. It's the last 12 months of closed sales and 100% of matching records. We didn't exclude any of them. Yeah, we try and give you all the data notes on what it was that was used. Additionally, if we search within certain ranges, you'll be able to see here above. We specifically do within an area range. I just did this one earlier today in 5 points, and it'll tell you it did a geographic area within 1.5 miles of 5 points. Gives you all the median price per square foot, average, quarter percentile, whatever you need. And this goes a lot further than just strictly market insights, because we do include that property level information and the ability to directly view what it is that we're looking at, how to compare it, etc. So 125 homes listed for sale within 15% of the median market price of $633,000. A band of 538 to 728,000, which represents 25% of all active inventory. So Cary has 92, Holly Springs has 33. So this actually may be a little counterintuitive. Holly Springs may actually have more inventory at the lower end of that. So property type breakdown, single family residences, townhomes, condominiums, and the townhomes offer the best value and price per square foot. 9% below single family homes while offering a similar square footage. And then also new construction tells you where they are, where they're located. And then established neighborhoods, sample highlights, the best value in Cary is going to be a 2,400 square foot townhouse for $539. And then you have the best value in Holly Springs, 2,500 square feet for 540. And these both look to be fairly new construction. We've got these properties, 2026, new release, and then data notes. It'll say that 500 active homes, 500 records had pricing information. We didn't exclude any. That we met the minimum sample threshold of 100, as well as calculating all of the basics. So again, here, it gives you a full representation. We pulled 44 properties that match this, and you can look at any of them. So you can say, okay, cool. This property fits. You quickly, easily look at it. You'll be able to share that back out, whatever you need to do. And then you can quickly and easily see, like, if that's 556 and this is 562, they're similar square footage. However, this one's a townhouse and it's new construction. So there's a lot of features and information that we've been able to build in from this. Again, on your phone, you're able to quickly see all of the relevant information, where it is, listing times, dates, all the schools, everything that you need to know about that property, and pull it up really quickly. So I just covered a couple different ways to search on this tool. Does anyone have any questions so far? And were we able to get in? I know we had someone trying to get their site set up. Just please let me know. I've got a hand raised. Do you want to drop your question in the chat, or do you want me to turn you on mic? I can open up this chat real quick. Yeah, see if you can drop your question in the chat, and if not, I can turn on your microphone, whichever works. So I'll just turn on your microphone. I'm not seeing anything come through in the chat. How can I help you? I'm not able to hear you. It's not showing you're on. I'm sorry, I'm missing your audio. Is anyone else able to hear that? Can I get a thumbs up if we're able to hear Ashley's question? Nope, I think we're missing that. All right, let me see if I'm Q&A, webinar chat. Is anyone else able to post in the chat? I apologize for this. Chat is still disabled. Everyone. All right, well, let's try Q&A and see what loads there. Perfect. Oh, Q&A works. Thank you. So sorry, Ashley, if you don't mind dropping that in the Q&A, not in the chat. My apologies. I'm going to mute and then yeah, if you just drop that in the Q&A, drop that question in the Q&A, and we'll get that resolved for you. So I'm looking in the settings on how I can enable the chat as well. And it looks like chat. Yeah, chat, it looks like it's turned on. I'm not sure why it's showing up as disabled for all of you. All right, well, Ashley, I'm going to go ahead and keep moving on. I apologize. And so we'll go back here. And we kind of did that median home prices. Oh, we didn't do the median home prices on the side by side. So from there, let me go back and please compare the median home sales price for Cary and the median home sales price for Holly Springs and compare the value between the two. All right. So I do have a question about what else you can find on this. And that's actually a really good question. So once this loads, I'll go ahead and answer that as well. So that's a great question, and I'll show you some of the other features. And they can get really, really in depth. And that's part of why I'm looking for this participation, is just to know what kind of questions you guys want answered. But this will be property level information, and we'll go from there. So again, Holly Springs has median price. Holly Springs is a little bit higher. Average sales price, and then again, Holly Springs average sales price is $647. So Cary has a larger range in what it's selling for than Holly Springs does, but Holly Springs has a higher minimum. And then you can kind of do that. But for example, let's talk about find me the agent who sold the home in 27613 for the most price per square foot in the past 90 days. Find me the agent in 27613 that sold the highest price per square foot home in the past 90 days. So these are where we start to get really fun on our analytics. And then there, you have Julie Chung, highest price per square foot. Buyer's agent, you see who it is. And then we can say, find me the contact information for the broker in charge of Raleigh Custom Realty. And it looks like we had someone else just set up their account as well. We're happy to wait for a second or give you a second to get that set up. There we go. Office phone, email, full list. There you go. That's full contact information. Makes it really quick and easy to understand. Additionally, here, we've got the property that sold, all the information about it. And so we can also say what individual agent sold the most land in the past 90 days. And we'll go 30 days just to see. Give it a few more seconds to pull through. And then from there, I'm happy to answer any other queries that you guys might have. Yeah, really kind of want to get into it and vet out the platform and see what it is that you guys are trying to do. Make sure that we can build that platform around your guys' questions and get them answered for you. So this is taken by total acres sold. find me the individual broker that has closed the most number of land transactions in the past 30 days. And you guys can see just by your query, it sorts it, any way that you want. But again, it's like, hey, if I'm looking at land, I know who the top performers are. It's really easy to reach out. Yeah, and he had 2 big closed sales. But if you look here, Tiffany Bailey had 8 closed sales. They're smaller acreage, which is kind of why we break that down. So we have, May beat that, but that's why we'll look at, transaction count, and we'll go from there. And so here we have non-member on MLS. Jim Allen has 3. Interesting. And then if we want to look at that by, listing agent, however you want to break that down, we're more than happy to do that. Yeah. How does it do with predictions? That's a great question. So predictions are often as good as the cloudiness of your crystal ball, but what we can't do is say, analyze all the zip codes in Wake County and tell me which ones have the greatest median home sales price appreciation and the greatest price per square foot appreciation over the past 6 months, and which ones are trending to be top performers for 2026. So this is not what the tool was built for, but we're going to try this out. It's a great question, and we'll go from there. And we'll give this maybe a little bit more than 90 seconds to run through. And yeah, while we're doing that, does anyone have, I've got a couple great questions that have come through. I'm happy to see anybody else that posts up. All right, I've got that one. Cool. So we've seen a 52% appreciation, but it's a slower market. Interesting. So 27608, 25% appreciation. Morrisville, where it's gained from, North Raleigh. Sales price per square foot. Yeah. So Morrisville, this top pick, 11% appreciation in the past 6 months. And that's not across the board. That is just sales price appreciation. So leave it up to you as the agent in order to interpret that and get it back to your client. But it helps give you a really good idea. And we have Southeast Raleigh, and it's doing really well on purchase price per square foot, sales price, oversupplied market. It'll show you 8.4 months of supply in downtown. And then again, different ones that we have that have seen decline. Morrisville Cary border, 27592. Yeah, full breakdowns. There you go. 34 Wake County zip codes, minimum threshold, 20 sales closed required, 9,300. Previous had 11,300 closed sales. And it gives you a full analysis of all of it. Hopefully you guys can see how much value this can bring to you in quick and easy manner as far as answering your client questions. And we'll go back here and really kind of go talk about, now that you guys are able to see some of the features that the tool's capable of, really your to-do list tonight is go home, run neighborhoods that you know, analyze the tool. You know what kind of questions you ask. You know how you know how you're looking for information. You know what information you're looking for. Go ahead and load those in, get ready, and then really the next get ready for the next webinar. That is coming not next week, but the following. And it's kind of how you use these analytics tools. So far, we've covered how to get your clients in, how to get drip emails and campaigns out, how to write blogs in order to attract new people to your site, and then really how do we show up to our clients with great analytics. And from there, it's going to be, what does it look like to list the property through the EasyDigz platform? And then the same week, that following Thursday, we'll be going through the offer to purchase and contract process as well. So really, I want you guys to get comfortable using the tool. Bring any questions you have. Reach out to Julia or I with any questions you might have, and we can kind of go over that, make sure those are clear. And then from there, hopefully we have you winning your listing presentations, and we're going to go through that listing process itself. In the meantime, thank you for everything you guys have, the great questions. And we'll be sure to include any more of those as we move forward. Again, everyone will receive a copy of this webinar, and yeah, feel free to sign on. I know we had a couple people sign up just during this webinar, so that's a great thing. Hopefully you guys are able to follow along, and we'll go from there. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great afternoon. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.